Welcome into TexAgs Rewind presented by Yeti. Here I am with my co-host of the day. We got to take over for David Kennedy Calvin, as well as our executive editor, Billy Liucci. Pretty fun show today, I gotta say.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I will not lie. Kay witnessed it. Billy did not. I was nervous. I was freaking out right before we went on
She
for
was
the
doing
first
a
segment.
little lap around.
I'm a pacer. I'm a pacer when I get nervous.
Nervous energy.
Yes.
I'm sure that didn't affect anybody else in here.
I was okay.
She was good.
Were you more nervous about that or going to Taylor Swift, like before Swift took the stage?
Like the moments leading up to that. Ooh, the adrenaline at Taylor was different. The way I explained it, I'll say it really fast. The way I explained it is when you're lining up at a track meet for a race.
When you're in the block.
Those butterflies that you get right before the gun goes off, that's how I felt before this started.
I ran one. They talked me into running track one year. My sophomore year, I don't know if they saw like one play that they thought I was fast, and I ran one race, and they were like, "Yeah, you can go back to football and baseball."
Yeah,
so I don't know the track thing, but
yeah,
I could see you getting so nervous. What if she would have just broke out like how
in
people
hives?
Just in Taylor Swift.
That's what I said.
Singing,
That's what I said. I said I could
uncontrollably.
start just randomly singing Taylor Swift lyrics, but it didn't happen. Thank goodness.
I know.
We had a good show though.
We did. Yeah, like I said, good show. We had Kris Budden, ESPN sideline reporter. She was awesome. It was so good to talk to her, as well as TexAgs' own Kayce Smith, who now works at Barstool Sports. Yeah. She was a great interview. Make sure to check that out. Also had a segment of Would You Rather that we played.
Where Mr. Luke Evangelist really went after my hair.
He did. And then also topped it off with the one and only Billy Liucci. So a lot of recruiting stuff going on. Make sure to check it out. So speaking of college baseball and bringing it back to A&M, you had one of the funnier and unluckier moments with our head coach, Jim Schlossnagel. Every time it seems like he would do a mid-game interview with you while at the SEC tournament, just either something would go wrong or, we would have some kind of funny moment. If you could just give us your perspective of those moments with Schlossnagel.
Yeah, I mean, it had been something that was kind of a bit or kind of, a funny joke throughout the year. When there's not a sideline reporter there, they do headset interviews. And the interviews usually, when you do it on a headset and during the regular season, they kind of bleed into action. When I'm there, you're supposed to get out before the first pitch. It's just kind of they don't want me standing on the top step while action's in play. And so we had like this funny montage of all the things that had happened to Schloss when he was doing an interview, either a dropped ball or a home run by the other team. And so it kind of became a funny bit. So then I come in and like the deal was like, oh, I'm going to be the good luck charm. Like nothing bad is going to happen when I do the interview. And like Schloss and I had joked about it leading into it. And then the first interview, it's literally like ball drops right in fair territory. Mm-hmm. And he just looks at me and like we could nothing but laugh. Like we had no words. And he's great. Like he's up for it. There's a lot of coaches that don't want to do those, and he completely understands why and has fun with it. And that's kind of like the joy of being able to do that with him. Is I could maybe count 2 or 3 other coaches in the country that would be as lighthearted about it.
Yeah, he's a great guy for sure. So, Kris, for those who are unfamiliar, can you kind of walk us through how you became a sideline reporter? Like, is this something that you always kind of wanted to do? Like, just walk us through that.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to be a reporter. I actually thought I wanted to be a news reporter. My godfather growing up was an anchor at the ABC station in Dallas. So I went to Mizzou to study broadcast. And then there weren't, this was 20 years ago, there weren't that many women in sports. So that wasn't even really a concept for me until my junior year. I had, at Mizzou, you have the opportunity to work for the NBC station. And so I had shot college or high school football for a Friday night show since my freshman year. And at that point, kind of fell in love with the idea of sports storytelling. I always played sports. My entire family is very athletic. And so sports kind of gave you an opportunity to do more storytelling instead of, standing outside of a fire every night. So that's when I kind of decided to get into the sports realm. First job was in Charlottesville, Virginia. Then I was in Knoxville for 6 years. And after Knoxville was kind of when I knew I wanted to be a sideline reporter. I just like doing live events versus working in local news, being able to tell athlete stories. being able to listen, eyes and ears on the field. First sideline job was working for the Padres and doing NFL for Fox, and then eventually worked my way to ESPN, starting with college football, college basketball, and then added on college baseball about 5 years ago.
I'm
present these questions.
I'm a little nervous for this segment.
Oh, you should be. My first question, we're going to start out with a little easy one, okay?
Okay.
Would you rather never be able to listen to Taylor Swift ever again, or let Obi pick the music you'll listen to for the rest of your life?
I just don't think that I could go, and I'm sorry to all the people who hate on Taylor Swift because we hear it every single time that it's played on this radio. But I just don't think that I could never listen to Taylor Swift again. I don't think that's possible.
So you're picking OB's music?
I'm picking OB's music, I guess.
I would just say I don't think OB's music is that bad, just because
it's not horrible.
Grown up listening to. So I think I'm gonna go with OB as well on that one.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, and next we've got, who would you rather be best friends with, Dalton or Richard?
They're both my besties.
They're
can't
both
pick.
great guys. I think I'm gonna choose peace on this one and not give an answer because you know how it goes back there.
Yeah, I'm surprised Dalton hasn't chimed in yet with his own opinion.
Yeah,
you can't be best friends with us because we're best friends with each other.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Well, then y'all can't be best friends with me and Kay because me and Kay are best friends. Look at the besties. Aw.
Sorry about it.
We need to snapshot that. That was a cute little moment.
The besties and the besties.
Wait, I need an office best friend.
Well, we'll
take your pick in.
I'm gonna go with Cade.
Cade.
The Stash Bros. That's what we are.
But that's Nick's best friend.
Oh.
He's taken.
Bronny.
I get Bronny's out there on the phone, but sure.
You can't hear, but we're about to be best friends.
Okay.
You know, you kind of mentioned the first time that you hosted and just getting to be able to sit in this seat. We're curious if you just, with Gabe and Billy, if you have a favorite radio moment or just around the office interaction that you just never forgot.
Oh my God, there's so many. And Billy, so I went to the College World Series last year for work, and obviously Billy was there because A&M was in it. And just like being with Billy again makes me feel like I'm still right out of college and that he can boss me around. But I think, and I don't even know, I think Gabe like texted me about this when Bobby Petrino got hired. But at one point I played a character from Bobby Petrino's past on the Fan Show. And I believe I probably shouldn't even bring this up, but it's on me. So the Fan Show back in 2012, but I remember just having so much fun with those guys because I could hang with them. And just like you girls can, like I said, listening to you guys, it's like those guys have the most fun when you can be yourselves and play, you know, the fun personality. But Billy still to this day always reminds me that if it wasn't for him, I would not be where I am. So when I look back at the memories, I realize that if it wasn't for Billy Liucci existing, I wouldn't exist, I guess. So all those fun memories I could name and all the trips that we took and all that, it's only because Billy Liucci gave me a chance, right? I have to remind myself of that every single day when I look in the mirror.
So we had some big news last night that we want to get into with you. Draylon Miller has decided, Silsbee athlete, has decided to commit to Texas A&M. If you could just talk about that and what's going on over there at Bright.
I think that, we've seen this many times with Jimbo Fisher and A&M under Jimbo. They are known to, there's two things that he typically does in a recruiting cycle. Mm-hmm. You'll see them pick up commitments in waves. They go on what I called yesterday a heater. That they get hot and they'll knock them down in rapid fashion, and that's by design. And they're not the only school that does it. Texas is in the middle of one right now too, which is interesting to see both schools doing it. But it's by design, and they coordinate with the kids on their schedule, but they know. Thank you,
Dalton, presenting the coffee.
Hughes. They do it, it's planned out with those kids. Like, hey, you're going to announce, and the kids work together, and it's for maximum effect. Yeah. And let's say I know that, Luke over there is close, but he's not quite. But I know that y'all three are a close-knit group, and if you two, you commit one day, you commit the next day.
He might be coming.
The certain couple of other people that are more likely to fall. Yeah, when those dominoes. And so we're not done with the dominoes.
Okay.
Thank goodness.
I'm going to tell you right now, we're not done. There's at least a couple more dominoes coming in this wave, maybe even as many as 3 or 4, which this number is now going to go probably way past what I thought it would entering the season. Howell and I a few weeks ago, and Bronny thought maybe a dozen. I think Bronny thought even less.
Okay.
But I'm messing with him, but he didn't.
He's not listening.
But we
chilling
thought
out
we
there.
were kind of like, hey, if everything worked out the way it could, you could be at around 12.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna shoot past that.
They've picked
Yeah.
up 7 since June 14th.
Yeah,
7
and
commits.
That's
it's been like
insane.
6 in the last 8 days.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it for the rewind.
What? What was that voice?
I don't
That was
know.
her David Nuno.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know. This is the part
Do
I
it.
didn't study up on.
Okay, do it again. Let's see.
All right, that'll do it for the rewind there. I got really southern there
There.
for a second.
Hold on.
Yeah, thanks for
That's
tuning
the
in. Billy,
rewind.
can you tell us what
You
we're supposed to do?
subscribe, you tell friends,
You tell friends.
hit the, I don't know if there's
The
a
like.
button you hit, like it, comment,
Yes.
interact. It's
Comment
fun.
what your favorite
Interact.
part is.
Go follow
And
us on Instagram. Go follow us on TikTok,
TikTok.
on Twitter.
Also, comment if you think me and Kennedy should host again.
Yeah,
True.
please do.
Y'all get to anyway. Don't worry about it.
Yes.
Doesn't matter what they say.
David, put
We
that
have
down.
it.
Write it down.
We have a clip of
It's
it.
noted. All right, thank you all. Bye.